Hybrid got a massive buff in the most recent update, but not many people are using it, which is surprising because in this video you'll see Dark on top, a top 200 pusher, crushing bases with it. Doesn't matter if it's a box, ring, or diamond, Hybrid will get the triple. With the new level Hog Rider and the buff to miners of 50 HP, I would have thought we'd see a lot more Queen Charge Hybrid post-update, but people generally going for the Super Bowler Smash or the Queen Charge Hogs / Super Hogs variants. But today we're finally going to see some Hybrid on the channel. You're going to see Dark on top, a player who's consistently inside the top 200, if not top 100, come in and take down a lot of different bases. Look at this wall break, by the way. Perfect. Opens up the corner wall. It was not targeting that, but you have to do that on these box spaces with these awkward wall compartments. Now, how do you do Hybrid? The exact same as we've always been doing Hybrid. If you can charge the Town Hall, do it. You need to do it. The Town Hall poison effect is just far too strong to be left up. Look at this invis, by the way. Perfect. And then he puts a rage slightly in front of his healers, the good aggressive rage there, so that the healers are raged when necessary. And look at that. That is a perfect charge. And then we're going to come in on the right-hand side because it's already kind of been funneled with the Hybrid King and Siege back, same as before. P.E.K.K.A got a new level as well, which helps this army a little bit. Queen dealing with the CC. Unfortunately, he kind of messes up the poison spell. You'll actually see Dark on top a few times today mess up the poison. There's a wide variety of CCs in High Legends. Well, actually, I lie, but the two different types of CCs you see mainly, which is 3 Ice Golem or Mass Archer, you have to put the poison spell down completely different for both of them. So make sure you're always looking at the CC. But I mean, look at this. Still haven't used the Warden ability. Gonna use it right here. Get a Headhunter in it as well. And there's just not a lot of base left. We have already used our Queen ability, but look at these freezes. Perfectly placed to keep our Queen alive. That Rage multi probably would have killed her. Use the Yeti on the top side. The Yeti is here to funnel. I still don't know if I prefer a Yeti, especially because he's bringing 5 Sneaky Gobs, I think it is, already with this army. Could potentially bring more Hybrid, but I mean, doesn't really matter when you're tripling. Really nice attack here. This is kind of the standard approach you see on box spaces, but we're going to get into A, different approach on a box base, but B, also some ring bases and diamond bases later, so you can see how to use this army on every type of meta base at the moment. Now, this base is incredibly similar to the last one, except the main difference is the monolith here, which would have wrecked our Queen Charge from the bottom. So, gonna Queen Charge up the top because you've only got 3 rages with this army, right? You can't do unrealistic charges. Also, the sweeper would have been really bad. You don't really want to deal with the sweeper with your Queen Charge. So what is Dark doing here? Just going to charge the back end of the base. So you're going to try and get rid of this Eagle Artillery, then Hybrid from almost the exact same spot as the last attack, and then use the King and the Siege Barracks to funnel out what the Queen would have charged. So kind of flipping the plan depending on if you can Queen Charge. Because yes, the level 90 Queen is really strong and really nice, but I mean, the monolith is still owns her in that sense. So perfect little invis here. The rage spells on back end of bases are really bad. We get the pre-poison down to slow down the Ice Golem movement so that the Queen can take down the Eagle before dealing with. Really nicely done. But even look at this, right? That Rage Tower is so powerful. Thankfully, it runs out just in time. Otherwise, the Queen ability would have been forced. We've already used 2 Rage spells and an Invis. And the Queen's dealt with the CC, so it's time to come in with the Hybrid. Now, look at this King. He is... The Warden is following the P.E.K.K.A and the King. A little unfortunate there. Warden... Still not the greatest AI in the world, but slowly but surely getting better. Really nice wall breaks, by the way. Look at the back end of the base. Has to pop the Queen ability, but that's okay because that Queen ability takes down the Expo, and there's almost no damage left on the base. The good thing about this approach, have not activated the Town Hall left. The bad thing is that Rage Tower is brutal to deal with. Look at this Warden ability timing, by the way. It's beautiful. As late as possible. If he did it half a second later, or even like a 3/10 of a second later, I believe we eat that giant bomb ability and the poison effect even more. And I mean, look, we still have a lot of Hybrid up. This is going to end up looking close because a scatter shot and a bomb tower is a deadly combo for our Hybrid. You're going to see more and more bomb towers moved to counter Hybrid attacks, and putting it right next to the scatter is definitely a good spot. Another giant bomb there, but The RC's going to clean it up. And what I really like about this, and why I'm hopeful for this army, is Dark is not using max heroes, right? That is like the Warden is max and the Queen is max, but the King and RC are not. And the RC is huge with this army, right? If the hybrid dies out like you see here, it's her job to finish off the base, and she's not even max. Ring bases continue to be the worst style of base for hybrid to hit, just because it's so hard to get the town hall down, right? Like, there's not a lot of teasers at the moment. It's mainly boxes and diamonds, and generally you can get the town hall on those bases, except for those boxes like the last one we saw, which admittedly are reasonably common. But I really like what he does here. Pulls the CC for free and deals with it on the outside of the base, so you don't need a rage. Smart. Anytime you can pull the CC for free, do this. Uses a Yeti to tank for the Flame Flinger. You'll see this Yeti be a problem later on, though. But yeah, he's using the Flame Flinger here and not the Siege Barracks, and I really like this, because you think of ring bases, you think of Queen Charge Lalo on this style of base, and you use the Queen Charge with 4 rages, you use the Flame Flinger and the King to get the Town Hall. But when you're doing hybrid, you're using the King to funnel the hybrid, you're using the Siege Barracks to funnel the hybrid. Look at this Yeti being a troll, by the way. And you only have 3 rages for your Queen, so like, you're never going to be able to charge the Town Hall as easily with hybrid as Queen Charge Lalo. Look at this Yeti. Thankfully, it gets wrecked by the Warden and the Monolith, so the healers can return in time. Unfortunate misclick there. That's going to be the first swag of this attack, but it's not the last swag. What he swags in this attack is quite ridiculous. Look at this wall breaker he's about to do, by the way. He's waiting for the air defense and the elixir collector to go down, and then the wall breaker will target the dead zone. Perfectly done there. But yeah, he uses the Flame Flinger on one side to funnel for the Queen, and then the hybrid on the other. And the reason he can get away, sorry to pause, but the reason he can get away with not using the Siege Barracks is, look at this. There's not much to funnel on the outside of the base. He wants the hybrid to go through this compartment anyway. He wants to keep it as far away from the Town Hall as possible. That's the Queen's job. So we don't really need the Siege Barracks on this base. Now, there are some rings where you do need the Siege Barracks, you'll see in the next attack. But if you don't need it, bring the Flame Flinger and look at the value it's gotten rid of, and that's going to be crucial at the end of the attack. The defensive Invis Tower is a bit of a pain for the pathing of the Queen here, so she will take longer to get the Town Hall down, but thankfully she will eventually get the job done. King's still going around the top side, and the hybrid is just chilling at this point. Second heal goes down. We freeze. Now look at these hogs. The main problem with using the Flame Flinger with hogs is hogs aren't really that good out of the Flame Flinger, especially when you use the Flame Flinger separate from the rest of the army, right? The hogs just aren't that good. They get wrecked by the scatter and the monolith there, and the army looks like it's kind of falling apart. But there's one thing you failed to take into account. He has not used his Warden ability. Dark here, trying to swag the Warden. Not something you see with hybrid ever. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen the hybrid swagged with Warden. The Warden swagged with a hybrid attack, but you've seen it here for the first time. This ring got crushed, and it's all because of the Queen Charge, getting the Town Hall, getting awesome Flame Flinger value, and just, you know, setting the right funnel with the King. Perfectly done from Dark here. That's one ring. I'll show you a more conventional one in the next attack. Here is the sort of conventional ring you see at the moment with double poison, though. I will admit, if this is double rage, I don't think he triples. I just don't know if it's even possible to triple a double rage ring with hybrid, but Dark would know better than me. I'm not going to pretend to be the expert. We're just going to sit here and enjoy. Perfect, by the way. He pulls out this CC using the hogs, but even look at this. The rage spell is barely keeping the Queen alive, and we haven't even entered the base, really. Queen just coming in, we deal with the CC, we're setting a funnel with the sneaky gobs, and have a look at this. The hybrid's in already, because if this Queen goes much further into the base, there will just be way too much damage on her, and it's not worth it. You'd much rather try and keep your Queen alive by starting the hybrid early. And look, there isn't a crazy funnel set, but there is some sort of funnel set. We got the King and the Siege Barracks on the bottom. This Siege Barracks is important. Like in the last attack, you saw him get away with using the Flame Flinger. This attack, you do need the Siege Barracks with the King, and you'll see why towards the end. We have to pop the Warden ability early here. Poison Tower, Eagle, Scatter, Bomb Tower, you name it. So much damage on our hybrid. Queen's on the top side. She has used her ability, and she is out of rages, because we did have to use one rage with our hybrid, obviously, because its job's to deal with the core of the base. Whereas the Queen goes one side and the King and Siege Barracks go the other. So Hybrid is slowly dying out, and that's expected with this approach. But look at this, the King is still yet to use his ability. The Queen has used hers. Unfortunately, the RC dies off here. Now, if I was him, I would have been funneling out this army camp you see up the top so that the Queen doesn't walk. But thankfully, she comes back, and she does just take down this multi. If she didn't take down this multi, I don't know if he gets it. But yeah, the King's just going to take down the back end. And, I mean, this looks really close, and in reality, it is. You know, ring bases are hard with this army, but they can work, and this is the best crack I have seen for it. Really nicely done from Dark here. But yeah, just make sure that you keep your Queen alive. If your Queen and King basically survive the whole attack, you will triple with this. But, lol, wait a second. I didn't watch this far when I was watching the replay. I just assumed it was over. Woo! I got a little close at the end. Here is a diamond base, but I really wanted to show you this one over a lot of the other ones, because look at how stacked the core of this base is, right? This looks bad for Hybrid because a heal spell will not be able to repel this much damage with the Rage Tower. But I guess we will see. Now you see that Invis Tower behind the Town Hall, which means, yep, freeze perfectly. He could not have done that even a tenth of a second later. Then he sends the Sneaky Gobs in, and what he's trying to do is find that Tornado, because if that Tornado goes off late, it pulls his Queen into really awkward positions. So much better to send it just as the Town Hall's going down. Don't send it when the Town Hall's like half down, because then it might pull your healers inside the Town Hall Inferno range. Not by the Tornado trap, but the healers get, the Queen gets pulled in, and the healers obviously have to follow. So just before it's about to go down, do that. Unfortunately, we don't get a wall break further in the base. That is a perfect invis, and any second now, yep, King and Siege Barracks go down. And the pathing is perfect, right? But can the Hybrid push through this much damage? I mean, look at it. There's 3 heroes. That Rage Tower with everything around it, and the Monolith King on the back end with another multi. I mean, aside from that single Inferno Town Hall Invis Tower, haven't really got a whole lot. But I guess the Town Hall is what matters with the Hybrid army. And then you're going to see the Warden ability with the Rage. That's important, by the way. If your Queen's not dealing with a lot of damage, don't use every Rage spell on her. The Hybrid goes really well with the Rage spells. Now, you're going to see the main reason this gets a little close is because he messes up the Poison. Another Mass Archer CC. This is really common in High Legends. It's a really good CC. So make sure, if you're placing a Poison spell down, that you nail it. Because if 40 archers are not in a Poison spell, that will, ironically, spell trouble. But yeah, I mean, look at this. It's not even close. I mean, we still got most of our miners that just push through the base. We still got nearly all 4 heroes up. Unfortunately, the King goes down at the last second. And that is a GG. And that right there shows the difference in Hybrid pre and post update. That probably wouldn't have gone before the June summer update. Last replay of the video, another diamond base that you see here. You've had 2 boxes, 2 rings, 2 diamonds. I've shown you a bunch of different approaches, so there's no excuses to not be getting 320 with this army. I'm kidding, obviously. This game is super hard. Really nice, by the way. Activates the Rage Tower early. Make sure, if you can ever do that with the spell towers, you do. Now, look at this. Despite how hard this Town Hall is to charge, he is still charging it. And, the only real insight I can give on this is Dark shared about 5 or 6 different diamond base replays with me, and in every single one of them he's charging the Town Hall. And so I think that's best sums up that the way to take down diamonds, even if the Town Hall's difficult to charge, is to still try and charge it. Now that doesn't mean that you can't charge on the back end and still get a triple. I'm sure you can, but I didn't see any replays of that from Dark. Could be that just there was no basis for it. But yeah, I think safest approach is definitely try and charge this Town Hall at all costs. And if you absolutely can't, if there's like a monolith on the outside of the base or something like that, then maybe you have to try and figure something new out. But yeah, he does really well to charge that Town Hall with only 2 rage spells. I believe he uses the 3rd one here in a second though. Yep, there you go. So I had to use an extra rage than you saw on some of the other attacks. But when there's that much value around the Town Hall, definitely worth it. Now, I believe we might see him miss another poison here. Yeah, look at this. Dark, if you're watching, that's my biggest bit of advice for you. Start getting these poisons right. Because look, the archers are raged as well. Thankfully, look at this poison lizard go to work. It shoots so quickly. It's a madman or a mad lizard. going absolutely sicko mode in the core, taking down those archers quickly. The King's done a great job on the bottom of the base with the P.E.K.K.A. The Queen's still alive on the top side, and that's the big thing about this. If you can keep your Queen's ability intact when you deploy your hybrid, generally the Queen should live unless there's like a single Inferno or a Monolith, because the hybrid will be tanking a lot of the major defenses on the base, and this just got overkilled. Nice end to the video from Dark here. Let me know what you guys think of hybrid. Are you going to give it a go yourself? Are you preferring Hogs or some Smash armies? But yeah, let me know what armies you want to see on the channel. If you want to see some Queen Charge Hog Rider, I'll put it on the left from the #1 player in the world, who's also now the #2 player in the world.